Samuel Hervey, a 25-year-old in a severe mental health crisis, positioned his phone so its camera would capture the gruesome spectacle that was about to unfold. The Minnesota native stepped into the frame of the video live stream, his long hair spilling from the hood of a white sweatshirt. He was low-spirited, dismal, and needed help. A 15-year-old girl pushed him to unalive himself on a live stream. The passing of Samuel Hervey offers a case study into how a sadistic online group has used the messaging app Discord to find and torment vulnerable people. He sat down cross-legged and emptied a plastic bottle filled with gasoline onto his head and his clothing. Then he lit a flame. As fire engulfed him, more than 24 people watched in a private video chat room on the popular messaging app Discord. They laughed, cheered, and congratulated themselves, according to a recording reviewed by The Washington Post. Among those watching the November 2021 live stream was a 15-year-old girl in an Eastern European city who had spent much of the previous week in close contact with Hervey, urging him in private messages and voice calls to take his life on camera, the Post found. It was an effort, she later said in an interview, to impress others in a global online community that rewards cruelty. I was getting my big break, she recalled thinking during Hervey's unaliving. It was a competition of who could do the worst thing. So, I obviously felt very cool. The circumstances leading to Hervey's self-immolation remained mostly a mystery to his family and friends and to law enforcement. The Post traced the unaliving to the online community known as 764 and found that it was enabled by a messaging app the group has used to find victims halfway across the globe and lure them into closed, largely unmoderated spaces. Hervey's path into a virtual den of predation and the role of a teenager who believed coaxing a stranger to unalive himself on camera would boost her social status offers a disturbing case study of what federal prosecutors warn is an emerging threat posed by sadistic groups that target vulnerable people online. And it illustrates the deadly consequences when social media platforms fail to contain that threat. The Post located the girl, who operated under the screen name FMLK, through an extensive analysis of her digital footprint. Now 18, she spoke on the condition that she be identified only by her Discord screen name, age, and region. The Post is not naming her because she was a minor at the time. She said she agreed to talk because she regrets her actions, which she said also included encouraging a teenage girl to unalive herself on a live stream in March 2022. FMLK said she has since left the online group. She claims to feel bad for what she did, even now, she said during one of several in-person interviews in her home city. It's something that happened when I was in a bad space. She also said, this thing is going to haunt her for the rest of her life. The Washington Post and the German news magazine Der Spiegel examined tens of thousands of messages to identify the individuals involved in these events and to understand their interactions. The Post reporters traveled to Eastern Europe and to Minnesota. Sam Hervey's mother provided messages from his iPad, which police had sent to her after his death, as well as screenshots and user activity data. The Post and Der Spiegel shared reporting but wrote separate stories, continuing a partnership that produced articles earlier in the year about 764 and Discord. The FBI has said 764, named for the first 3 numbers of the zip code of the town in Texas where its founder lived, and its offshoots have targeted thousands of children in recent years, often persuading them to share nude photos and then extorting them into harming animals or themselves. In a warning last year, the agency said the groups try to get their victims, many of whom have mental health issues, to unalive themselves on camera for their own entertainment or their own sense of fame. The FBI has said the group meets the definition of a domestic terror organization. Although Discord prohibits promoting self-harm on its platform, Hervey and others communicated about his unaliving plans for more than a week in a chat room that was created specifically to broadcast his death, the Post found. Even afterward, the chat room remained online. FMLK lured the dismal teenage girl there 4 months later so an audience could watch her take her own life, she said. The Post was not able to confirm the second unaliving. Hervey's mother, Florence Hervey, said Discord should have been monitoring better. It's all very sad. Florence Hervey provided the Post with messages and data from her son's Discord account because she said she wanted to raise awareness of the potential dangers on social media for minors and other vulnerable people. The Post, in partnership with the German news magazine Der Spiegel, analyzed that material and other chat room exchanges to reconstruct the weeks leading up to Hervey's suicide, which occurred while he was traveling in the Central Asian country of Kyrgyzstan. Discord, a hub for gamers, is one of the most popular messaging platforms among teens and is growing fast. The platform allows anonymous users to control large swaths of its private meeting rooms, and it largely relies on users to report predatory conduct in those spaces. The horrific actions of 764 have no place on Discord or in society, Discord's Vice President of Trust and Safety, Judd Hoffman, said in a statement to the Post. Discord is committed to providing a safe and secure online environment for all users, and we are taking decisive actions to address harmful content on our platform and to find and remove the users who create such content. We are continuously working to improve these measures and, where appropriate and permitted by law, Discord aims to collaborate with the FBI and law enforcement. Hervey was alone and desperate, trapped and isolated in Kyrgyzstan. In August 2021, on his way from Minnesota to India, he was waylaid in the former Soviet Republic due to coronavirus restrictions. He spent weeks in hostels in Bishkek, the capital, and tried to extend his travel visa as he ran low on money, messages show. He turned to social media for connection, including in this series of messages he posted on September 6th of that year under the screen name Asunder. During the pandemic, Hervey's mental health quickly worsened, friends and family said. He dropped out of the university and separated from his boyfriend Hussein, who said Hervey's mental illness overwhelmed their relationship. It got to a point where it was too much for Hussein to handle. Sam would refuse to take his meds. Increasingly erratic and delusional, Hervey was involuntarily committed to a state-run psychiatric treatment facility in Minnesota in late 2020 and, according to court records, was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, a condition that causes delusions, hallucinations, mania, and depression. On November 1st, 2021, came a note from someone else who seemed eager to establish a connection. "Hello. I'm looking for friends." The sender offered few personal details other than a username that contained 4 letters, FMLK, which are users who are associated with cults and do really messed up things to people. The 15-year-old who sent the note was not, in fact, looking for a new friend. Instead, she told the Post, she saw Hervey as potential prey for the sadistic online community of which she was a part, and possibly as someone whose death could help her launch her own splinter group. She suggested that Hervey talk one-on-one with her in a voice chat on Discord. That's when the encouragement began, she said. "You can do this," she said she told Hervey during that first talk. Fluent in English, she had made her way into the inner circle of 764, becoming a kind of recruiter for the group. The 15-year-old who sent the note was not, in fact, looking for a new friend. Instead, she told the Post, she saw Hervey as potential prey for the sadistic online community of which she was a part, and possibly as someone whose death could help her launch her own splinter group. She suggested that Hervey talk one-on-one with her in a voice chat on Discord. That's when the encouragement began, she said. "You can do this," she said she told Hervey during that first talk. Fluent in English, she had made her way into the inner circle of 764, becoming a kind of recruiter for the group after proving her bona fides for more than a year, she told the Post. In the spring of 2020, she intentionally set fire to dry grass near a rural village in her country and recorded a video of it. The fire spread to nearby buildings before it was extinguished. The authorities never discovered that she lit it and that she boasted about it online. Discord has said that it became aware of the group that same month and alerted law enforcement authorities. Still, the group continued to grow, and the platform struggled to contain it. Members of the group repeatedly evaded Discord's enforcement actions, creating new accounts and servers, when they were banned by the platform. She was surprised that police did not question her about Hervey's suicide, because the recordings were on a phone that was seized. The police told her parents to get her a psychological evaluation, she said. She was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder, depression, and anxiety, and started therapy twice a week. Her parents, who do not speak English, remained unaware that she had joined the online group. Florence Hervey said she wishes there had been a more thorough law enforcement investigation into her son's suicide. But after learning what happened, she said she feels compassion for the teenager in Eastern Europe. If you or someone you know may be considering suicide or is in crisis, call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.